This is hello to my family and my friends and all my loved ones. Today I'm going to talk about something I've been dealing with for about the last 8 years. It's nearly half of my life. This is this is hard for me to talk about. This is me at my most vulnerable, and this is uncomfortable for me to talk about, and it's probably going to be hard for a lot of you guys to understand. But a part of this, this whole video I'm about to ramble on about, but part of this is also, letting other people know it's okay to talk about your problems and reach out to the ones that you love. We need to do this more in our country and all around the world, normalize talking about mental health issues. So what I'm going to be talking about today is a form of obsessive compulsion disorder, however you say it, that I have, called staring OCD. And what staring OCD for me is the fear of looking at someone, or the fear of being caught looking at someone's genitals, so their chest or their crotch area. So in social settings, I'm so afraid of doing this and making people uncomfortable that I end up doing it. So I end up staring at people in these weird ways. And, and it doesn't come from like a sexual conscious attraction thing that I want to do. It happens to both male and females, and I'm heterosexual, so looking at a guy's chest or crotch, it doesn't do much for me, but it still happens. So I'm so afraid of staring at people these ways that I end up doing it, because it's like the more I try not to do it, the more I do it. It's like when someone tells you not to think of something, your brain automatically starts thinking of the thing you were told not to think of. It's just how the brain works for the most part. And on top of that, I have a problem with staring at people out of the peripheral vision of my eyes, because I'm like checking my surroundings, and I don't try to do this, but it just happens, to see if people are staring at me, because if they're staring at me, then maybe I'll accidentally stare at them in a weird way like I was talking about, and they'll catch me doing that, and they'll think I'm perverted, or they'll be uncomfortable, or they'll be sad or annoyed, which is like a completely that's a normal response, being stared at in a way like that. No one likes that. It's uncomfortable and it's gross, that people look at people like that and, make other people feel like they're meat or something, that they're just a body, not a human with like a heart and emotions. And, having this makes it really hard for me to socialize with a lot of people. I'm pretty good with most of my close friends because I'm pretty comfortable around them and it doesn't happen too much because my anxiety levels go down around them. But, for most people, like strangers and a lot of my friends and a lot of my family, this stress and anxiety, this OCD creates a barrier between me and them, and I'm very distant. It's hard for me to make eye contact. It's hard for me to look at them, and it limits a lot of my personality. I can't show them my goofy, normal self, which I think that's what I am. I think I'm just like a goofy guy. A lot of people don't get to see my caring side and sensitive side because of that, because I'm just shut down and I'm distant, and I don't get to be myself around people because I'm so in my head about this stuff. And it's kind of weird to like talk to people when you keep on accidentally looking at their genitals or something, because it's like no one wants to be around anyone that's looking at their genitals, and on top of that having to sit through an uncomfortable conversation while it's happening. So usually just in conversations, especially with strangers, I just don't say anything because I'm trying to spare them to be any more any less uncomfortable than they already are. And this whole problem of mine started when I was about 12, because when I was 5 years old, I was sexually molested. And I became consciously aware of what happened when I was 12 years old. And that's when the OCD started, because I was so afraid of ever making anyone feel uncomfortable like that and taken advantage of, that it like polluted my mind and my intentions fired back on me. It's like self-sabotage. And you know, I'm not making this video to get any pity, or I'm not trying to make this for attention. I'm making this video for my friends and my family and the people I love, because I need them to understand this, so I can communicate with the people I love easier and not have this be such a burden on me. I want people to understand why I might be distant, or why I might be looking away from them and having a hard time conversating with them. I don't really know what else to say from here. I want to say that I covered everything I could about the subject and, how it affects my life. But if any friends or family want to reach out and ask any questions about it to get a better understanding, please feel free to. I'd love to be able to normalize these problems a little bit more, and I don't want people to be too worried about me, because, I'm working on it, It's like each month is a couple steps forward and a couple steps back. It's just the way it goes, and I'm on this journey, and, I've accepted this as a problem in my life, and just accepting it's made it better. When I try not to do the staring, the staring gets worse. But when I just accept it and let it be and say, hey, if it happens, it happens, the staring usually doesn't happen. So I have to, go through this course of learning how to accept this completely, and, and put myself out more and be more upfront about what I'm dealing with and vulnerable, and just keep on trucking on. But yeah, like I said, if anyone has any questions, you can just message me, and I'd love to, explain anything you're curious about. All right, thanks.